My name is Chris Rauen. I'm Summer Camp Administrator, and I'm also the Director of the Magalia Community Park and Community Center. When we lived in LA, it was a concrete jungle. We didn't have all the trees. We had palm trees and the beach. That's a whole different environment than living up in the mountains. This is so unique where you can live and be amongst the trees, the birds, the squirrels, watching them chase themselves around trees for no apparent reason at all. I don't know of any other community that you can do that in, or very few, and be so close to services and goods that you need. This is just unique for that. It's a unique opportunity. I'd recommend it for anybody. I think my favorite memories of growing up here in Magalia were, well, one of course was the golf course, which is the project that I'm involved right now. But playing golf here, playing out there in the wintertime when we weren't playing golf, we had sled runs, we were having snowball fights, snow forts, until somebody would come out and chase you off. Riding the school bus up here into the snow when it wasn't snowing in Paradise, and calling your friends and finding out the school was open. The winters were incredible. I think just in general, the 4 seasons here are really unique in Paradise that you don't quite see in other communities. The sense of community, a feeling of developing a town all over again, which really, the values are still here that are part of Paradise and Magalia. We're all one ridge at the end of the day, but at the same time, the values are the same. And I've never found that any other place that I've lived. And to come back here and see over 1,000 building permits being reviewed and issued by both the town and several hundred by the county for Magalia, that it's a no-brainer for me to come back to my roots, because this is where I feel that I belong. I'm most comfortable up here. Every time I come up to the hill, I feel more comfortable here than any place I go. One of the needs that the 𝗥𝗲𝗁 Community Council focused on was that Magalia, post-fire and even pre-fire, needed a community center. We needed a gathering place, a place for our residents up here on the 𝗥𝗲𝗁 to come together, to have county meetings, to talk about how to go about rebuilding, recovery. It's different up here for us in the county than it is in the town of Paradise in a lot of ways. And we needed the updates and reports just as much as they did. I started asking around. I talked to the county, I talked to the park district, all sorts of people were involved in it. I spoke at length with the community at the 𝗥𝗲𝗁 Community Council, giving presentations and talking about how this could be a park and a community center. And everyone was basically echoing the same thing. I said, yes, absolutely, because we need this here, and it would help bring people back after the fire. So we started speaking with the owners, and long story short, we have an agreement now to lease the property for a community center, and we're working on hopefully acquiring the remaining 40 acres for disc golf and passive recreation. This we see as a place for rebuild and recovery resources, where people can come and get information about how to acquire a building permit, where they can find out how to fill out tree ROE forms or submit them. Anything that the county is putting out that's going to be helpful to people in Magalia, to anybody on the 𝗥𝗲𝗁 that wants to rebuild, we're here to help encourage them and make those resources available to them. We're also looking to develop all of this 2,000 square feet of space for programs, classes, events, special events that we can do outside in the courtyard, a parking lot across the street, that would bring the community together in all sorts of events and festivities. Lots of ideas that we have planned, sponsorships and partners that we're working with. I think that one of the challenges early on for us, of course, just like any nonprofit, is fundraising. You don't have a lot of money to start something up when you know you need $1 million up front to get it going, which we do. But at the same time, we have been just blessed with so many people coming forward saying, we do want to help you. And it's been from all over the ridge and all over Northern California, and we've been so appreciative of that.
anybody who is still on the fence about coming back to Paradise or to the Ridge, any part of the Ridge, Magalia, this is a place that has a unique sense of community that I know, at least for me, I have not found any other place that I have visited or lived. And to live in a place where you're in the woods, the trees are native around you, it's going to look a little different. It's going to feel different with less trees. The wildlife are still here. There's wildflowers that are coming back. Paradise is coming back in its own way, and Magalia is coming back. This is a unique chance to be a part of a really great opportunity to just come and help develop a new town and rebuild and improve an existing one. If you're in Magalia, and in Paradise as well too. There's infrastructure still here. Schools are amazing. And we have wonderful people. I kind of come from a family where wherever we've gone, we've built our own homes. So I'm fortunate in that I've got the background and know how to do it. But with this kind of a situation, it's been challenging. It certainly costs far more now to build a home than it did 20 years ago. There is a lot more red tape to go through, things that you have to go through, whether it's the town or the county, to get your plans submitted. And then maybe they come back to you with some changes and you have to resubmit them, and then they come back to you with some changes and you resubmit them. So it's a process, and you just have to be really patient with it, I've learned. And I know my neighbors are doing the same. The other part for me is finances. I didn't actually get to move a home here. My boyhood home and street are gone, but it's coming back. And to be a part of that, I'm needing to put up and raise my own money, my own capital to make this happen. So I'm risking basically my savings, my life savings to do this. And I would not risk all of that if I didn't think Paradise and Magalia had a future. I always say to folks and friends that are up here, whenever I hear their stories of the CampFire and their evacuation, that I cannot pretend to walk in their shoes, because I was not here at the time. I was in Chico, and I saw this black cloud billowing out of the foothills, and I thought there's a thunderstorm coming. I thought, why are we getting a summer thunderstorm at 9 o'clock in the morning? And I got a phone call from my cousin who told me that he was being sent to 𝗣𝗿𝐵⁴ Hospital to evacuate the hospital. He's an ER tech, and he works at Oroville. I said, why are you evacuating the hospital? He said, because the town of Paradise is on fire. I said, no, it's not possible. Not possible at all. And I turned on the news, and sure enough, it's true. I continued to watch this cloud billow, and it got darker and darker as it crept in over the valley, and I knew that that was not a wildfire. These were homes that were burning. It was my aunt and uncle's home. It was my boyhood home. You know, I was actually, to be honest, a little scared. And seeing all these Twitter feeds come in, and Facebook posts, and texts from people who were desperate, some of whom were asking me if I was okay, and me asking them, I was more concerned for them and their safety. So I grew up on the golf course, or really close to it, and this is really where my memories were. And as we didn't own the lots at the time of the fire, I just kind of waited it out to see if perhaps one of the lots on my old street would become available. And sure enough, the lot next door to my old home where I grew up was available for sale. And so I bought it and held on to it for a little while to see how the rebuild was going. And I dove in feet first, literally, about a month ago, and we're plowing forward. I'm rebuilding. I'm rebuilding the same house that I lived in almost 30 years ago. It's crazy. I love it.